Hello and welcome to the Coin Lady channel. Take a look around you, because it actually is happening. Whatsoever the case may be, the world is becoming more and more tokenized all the time. We live in a world where everything is becoming liquid. And in this expanded, fluidizing world, you'll need some way to convert between different types of things. All of us are aware of the general operation of currencies. Ripple's vision for XRP is as a bridge currency. What we've found, though, is that when you tokenize a wide variety of other things from stocks and bonds to real estate, and not those tokens don't just naturally interoperate, they are worth what they are worth. And not every venue where such items are traded around the world will have a market established for them. Consequently, a bridge is required. Therefore, I insisted that it would occur regardless of the circumstances. This future is what makes being an XRP holder so exciting now. This is a clear prediction of the future. Most of what crypto will accomplish is probably going to be similar to the internet. What would the future be like if you had to speculate about it? If the internet existed in 1995, what impact would it have on the future? A clear picture is impossible to obtain from historical guesswork. Do you think you could have guessed Uber? I have no idea how many people were trying to guess details like that. Also, the extent to which streaming services like Netflix are replacing broadcast TV. You can find everything from the mundane to the sublime. However, I believe that it is still too soon to tell what the future holds for cryptography. And not everything is completely obvious, but this is. The cool thing for those of us who own XRP is that we recognize the necessity of filling this void, especially in the world we are rapidly approaching. And XRP, in addition to being technically adequate, is the only cryptocurrency on the face of the damned planet that is being positioned for this. And XRP has liquidity, which is something you can't code into anything. In other words, XRP is a true veteran. It has value because it has been around for a decade. It is a highly traded cryptocurrency. The sum of these factors paints a fairly clear picture, and they help explain why, once more, we can't predict what will happen to XRP in the long run. However, something will emerge to fill this void. And the current frontrunner is XRP. Also, what do you think the ramifications will be for prices if this scenario plays out? In a world where cryptocurrency usage is on the rise and individual cryptocurrencies are increasingly evaluated on their own merits, what role do exchanges play in the industry? Blockworks ran a story with the headline, BlackRock CEO touts tokenization warns us lagging in innovation, which stated that the company was falling behind in terms of tokenization. And I discovered it all because lawyer John Deaton tagged some people, wrote some of us, and tagged some of us in a post. For years, they've been discussing the eventual tokenization of all assets. With $10 trillion in assets under management, Larry Fink is in charge of the largest asset manager in the world. That is to say, it actually is occurring. Yes, that's right. The legal counsel John Deaton is right. It is without a doubt occurring in this location. That's why, I get all the trollish comments from Bitcoin's biggest haters. A truly remarkable assault from the SEC has been going on for well over 2 years now. So, we're going through some stuff that's stressful for XRP holders, but if you look through what do you see? Exactly what do you see? It's also one of the most obvious applications of cryptography, if not the most obvious. One of the most obvious applications is substituting it for currency. Perhaps it's the most apparent. Assuming that's the case, the next most obvious use case is aiding the established financial system in its ongoing efforts to modernize and improve the speed with which it moves money around. Again, Blockworks is the largest asset manager in the world, and there is a lot of history here that you may remember from the summer of last year. I have no recollection of the precise date. Simply put, I think I wrote about it at the time. In BlackRock. They're just mimicking Grayscale, They want to turn their Grayscale Bitcoin Trust into an exchange-traded fund, and that's what Grayscale means. Over that, they filed suit against the SEC. In any case, BlackRock is attempting the same thing. It seems likely that BlackRock, if they get their way, will also apply to list a Bitcoin spot ETF. And I believe they're hoping to be the first to get approved because they have friends over at the SEC and know everyone on the damn planet who is in a position of power. Simply because they've been in power for so long. In light of that, it wouldn't shock me if that's the plan of attack here. Anyway, Larry Fink, CEO of BlackRock, recently brought attention to the financial progress being made in some countries other than the United States, which appears to be falling behind in comparison. In a letter to shareholders released this week, Fink discussed the growing popularity of digital assets over the past year in his writing, despite the fact that the collapse of the cryptocurrency exchange FTX received far more attention. He highlighted the improved speed and effectiveness of financial transactions in India, Brazil, and some regions of Africa. UPI, or the United Payments Interface, is a centralized payment system in India. As one of the most popular payment methods in the country, a real-time, instantaneous payment system has been an enormous success. In Brazil, a similar system known as PIX has transformed the way locals there make purchases. In contrast, he said, many developed markets, including the United States, are lagging behind in innovation, leading to much higher payment costs. This is something that really stood out to me the first time I read it, and I was pleasantly surprised to receive a note about it. Easily, this could have been a quote from Brad Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple. Everything said could have been written by Brad Garlinghouse. Could it be that the XRP community is onto something? And, in a word, yes. The fact that less than 1% of the global human population has ever owned XRP adds to the thrill. Over half a decade ago, when XRP hit its all-time high of $3.92 at least, that's what it is according to LiveCoin Watch, there were essentially no humans around to witness it. We're talking tens of trillions of dollars, maybe even over $100 trillion, if this crypto asset class continues to develop in the way that many of us believers expect it to. Coins that find practical applications will be the ones to survive. The money will eventually make its way there. Knowing that XRP reached nearly $4 in value half a decade ago with almost no one noticing makes me optimistic about its future price movement. Because, again, as long as XRP is addressing even a single issue in any given sector, that's more than enough to ensure its continued existence. There are a variety of issues that XRP is currently resolving. There are many applications for cryptocurrencies, but my point is that even if there were only one, that would be enough to ensure the success of the technology in the long run. If it has value, no one will throw it away, rather, resources will seek it out. That's just the way people are. Just now, we aren't able to see it clearly enough. Even putting the SEC lawsuits to one side, this is a relatively new type of investment. The asset class is still immature despite 14 years of existence. Nobody has any real answers yet. And it's not hard to see why currency is the topic of discussion. In this way, resistance is greater than, say, when comparing internet adoption. The first signs of resistance appear around the 90-second mark, when people start to warn that the situation is getting out of hand. Being able to obtain any piece of data is a fundamental human right. Using this, they can do some pretty bad things. A valid ID is required before you can freely surf the web. No, seriously. The idea actually existed, and people were advocating for it. Using the internet requires a valid membership. Consequently, there was a degree of resistance. But when it comes to money and threatening sovereign nations' financial futures, it's on a whole other level. I get it, that's for sure. After that, institutionalization of the internet was a top-down process. And then retail came after that. In contrast, with this, retail started this damn thing, followed by institutional money. Some of the dynamics are different, but that's all. There are some fascinating similarities, but there are also some significant differences. It's not hard to fathom the causes of the delay. Anyway, peace continues. Fink is in charge of the largest asset manager in the world, which manages nearly $8 trillion. And he thinks some of the most promising technologies in the digital asset space are still being underutilized by the asset management industry. See, folks, the BlackRock CEO finds tokenizing assets to be an appealing application because it may lead to, quote, driving efficiencies in capital markets, shortening value chains, and improving cost and access for investors. I remember talking about how I would be living in a tokenized world not long after I launched my damn channel at the end of 2018. Since everything is becoming more fluid, there will be a greater need to connect everything. Moreover, you can't expect there to be a trading pair or a market for every conceivable commodity. In order to propel all of this and speed up these valuable transactions, you'll need a bridge currency. And once again, no other asset compares to XRP in terms of strategic positioning. In addition, it is liquid, so it meets all technological requirements. Even if you did find something that was technically faster, you still wouldn't be able to use it for anything useful because, to begin with, it wouldn't have any money backing it up right now. After that, you're arguing over fine points. It doesn't matter if it takes 1 second or 3 seconds to settle. In all intents and purposes, it mirrors real time. But what good will it do to be a more advanced and faster cryptocurrency if XRP has the first mover advantage? Nothing. When a new technology finally catches on, there will be no turning back. When, in the course of human existence, certain practices come to be accepted as the norm, unless your product is significantly better than the current gold standard by an enormous margin, it is extremely unlikely that it will displace it. It's a huge challenge. For this specific application, XRP has the advantage of being the first adopter, and it is not favored by any one jurisdiction. There is no authority over it. This is precisely what makes it so appealing. There's no counterparty risk. No special interest group stands to gain. Unlike the United States dollar, no single government stands to gain from establishing and maintaining a monopoly on its use. And it already works today. This isn't some kind of scientific investigation. This results in an overall increased tokenization. You can see, of course, I'm talking about for years, of course all stocks will be tokenized. Why wouldn't they be? And for sure, bonds make sense too. Property, and a wide variety of other things. Also, think about the possibilities if you could cut out the middlemen. Picture yourself being able to exchange, say, a percentage of your stake in a commercial real estate property for a stock, using only XRP as the intermediary currency. As if that's the sort of future we can expect. As in, the technology exists to make it happen right this second. All that needs to happen now is for everything to be adopted. Let's face it, there's another reason this has taken so long. It's not just a problem in the US. In the United States, the situation is dire. Nonetheless, from a regulatory standpoint, it takes time to figure this out. That's another factor holding things up. However, it serves its purpose now. Connecting two tokenized entities is possible. Absolutely. Unquestionably. The XRP ledger is the first cryptocurrency to feature a fully decentralized exchange. Tokenizing all of this is a breeze on ledger. Isn't a guarantee that it will occur. I also don't think XRP ledger will dominate the market. I'm not trying to be a cartoon character, but there's really no need. To achieve its goals, less than 100% is sufficient. It's unreasonable to expect that to happen. However, it has something, namely a slice of the ever-expanding pie. Exactly what does that tell you? I'm in favor of it because the outlook it presents is optimistic. In any case, I find these displays utterly fascinating. There's been a lot of gloom and doom recently, and the price action has been scary and whatnot, but man, you gotta step back and take a look at the big picture. Feeling like we're in the vanguard of something amazing. It's the best chance our species has ever had to create wealth. I mean this when I say that an opportunity like this has never presented itself before. Now we're here. How fortunate we are to be living now. The term financial advisor is not one that I use. Nothing I say or write should be used as a basis for making any kind of investment. Please like and subscribe my channel. See you later, bye.